Hello there, Mr. File. How are you today?
I am great on this cold winter day.
Okay, I just realized I had you muted on my end. But I caught the end of that. Great on this cold winter day. Hopefully you didn't say anything else before then.
I just said, hello, how are you? Fine, thank you on this cold winter day.
Got it.
You know,
And
this
now-
whole, I'm going to be recording right away. That worked out well.
As soon as you went to talk, I was like, oh, volume. I had my computer upstairs earlier, and I didn't want it to like ding unnecessarily for things.
Right. I get it.
I was multitasking. I was grading and watching television at the same time.
Watching anything in particular?
We were watching an episode of NCIS.
Okay. All right.
We call it NICUS. Just, I don't know why.
Well, I get it. I have a shirt and a hat that says NCIS. Yeah.
I did actually take the time to look up because I was curious, like, is NCIS even a legit, like, real organization? It is, apparently.
It is. Yeah.
I had never heard of it until the show.
The guy that made this show was the same guy that made JAG back in the 90s. John Belisario.
General.
Yes, which is a thing, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's plenty of other secret government organizations that I'm not aware of. Look
All
at you.
of
I just noticed you have a collar on today. What's the fancy occasion?
I got up and this was the first shirt that was right there. So
Okay.
I went, oh, that's fine. I'm wearing a Speedo right now, below this. So, and socks.
That's a little more than I wanted to know. As long as you don't stand up, we're all good.
Right. No. I've been grading today as well, but I've been having difficulties. Like, oh, I'll grade this one. Let me go get a snack. Oh, I'll grade this one. Let me
I just earned a
stack
reward.
my papers.
I'll go, yeah. I graded one thing. I should take a break now.
Which is exactly what's been happening. Sorry, all the sixth graders, Castle Project people. Sorry.
I totally understand that. The only good side of the cold is because I would very much like to be outside.
Right.
It's a little too cold to go for a walk or whatever, like to do it like it's So it's at least keeping me in the house, but there's plenty of things inside to still distract me.
You mean like everything else?
Everything in my house.
Yeah, it's literally that for me today.
Although my cat was distracting me before, so that's not totally my fault.
Like, what was it like?
She was very well. I had run upstairs.
Dad.
Much. I ran upstairs to grab a sweatshirt earlier because it's a little chilly.
Right.
And I discovered she had been trapped in our closet upstairs for a while. Not sure for how long she had been trapped in there. Probably a couple hours. So she was a little sad and unhappy about that.
I can understand. That's happened here.
Very much wanted some attention and wanted to sit on my lap, but then I couldn't do anything else while she was on my lap except pet her.
Oh, okay. All right.
Like, no, like you owe me. Even though I don't think I was the one that trapped her in the closet.
No, because you have a stack of shirts, nothing of yours is in the closet. So
Here's a closet.
Right. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
But it's Friday. And as I told my students this morning on my short little video, I was like, wow, we only have 3 weeks left.
Yeah, 15 days.
That's around 3 weeks. That's crazy.
15 days.
15 weeks.
That's craziness.
No. And I'm very excited about that on the one hand. And also very I don't know,
melancholy.
like it's just weird.
Right.
It's weird because all the days feel the same to me.
Yes.
I will say, like, Sunday is slightly different because we do, instead of going to church, we watch church on the computer because you can't. So, like, there's a specific morning activity then on Sundays, but all the other days, it's basically kind of the same thing. Mm-hmm. You get up, you have breakfast, you use a computer for a while, you're not on the computer, you're on a computer, like it's back, like it's, because strangely enough, I don't know if you do this as a teacher, but I still like grade things on the weekend sometimes.
Yes.
Okay. So I didn't know if I was the only one.
No.
So it's not like Saturday is necessarily totally a day off of like, I'm not doing
Correct.
It. Or there's some, a little bit of planning, things like that.
I'm also
all of our students
available.
right now are like, great, we know the inner workings of how school's going on. Thrilling.
I'm also available all the time. So like I'll get emails on Saturday and I'll be like, okay, I'll just respond.
Right.
So
Right. Unless I'm clearly doing something that I can't be interrupted,
right. Yes.
like a video game.
Well, yes. Totally get that. I mean, it can wait for 4 hours. It's fine.
Yeah. But then, yeah, I'll do the same thing because if the student's asking the question, they'd probably like an answer sooner rather than later.
And they might be working on it, and if I can answer it, they'll finish it.
Yes. So it's a win-win for them and a win for us because then we get completed work.
Right. I totally concur.
Yeah. But I'm feeling like we need something more interesting to talk about than school. But I don't know what that should be.
I don't really have anything. I did submit. Let me find the paperwork. Paperwork for the chicken coop.
Oh, back to the chickens.
Because we got to get a permit to have one. So there it is.
If you accidentally make a couple mistakes on that form, your permit may get rejected.
Yes, but it's a fairly simple one. Are you doing it? Yes. Is somebody else doing it? No. Don't complete this whole section. So, I mean, we even got the plot of the land. Well, that's not even the right one. The plat, as it's called.
I don't know why it's a plat of survey when we refer to it as a plot.
As a person who went to college for architecture, this is called a plat. And I kind of called it like a floor plan. So elevation sort of thing.
Yes.
But I had to do some measurements and things. So it's all legit, and that's into the city of Naperville.
Do you need me to help lose that in the mail, or did you drop it off?
You faded out there. I lost you for a second.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was like, do you need me to help lose that in the mail for you? Or
there is no mail. It's all electronic.
Okay.
Now the permit of approval will be sent in the mail.
Right. Because you usually have to like post the actual like permit somewhere, especially if you're doing while you're building it.
I'm pretty sure I'm not going to need to post this. It's supposed to take like 25 minutes to put it up.
Right.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, now we got to just get the chickens, get it set. It's just busyness.
And all the eggs you could ever want.
I know. I didn't realize there was like 95 different variations of chickens.
How many? Did you guys settle on a number for how many you're going to get?
No more than 4.
So that means 4.
Well, we're thinking 4, but we can't do more than 4. I mean, did I tell you the names?
You told me some of the names. I do not recall off the top of my head. I didn't know if those were draft names or those were official at the time.
These are official. They're on a piece of paper. So Marie Hentoinette.
Okay.
Hannabella.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hannabelle.
Okay, that's better, yeah.
Chicken B. Little.
Okay.
And then Wolf. You're breaking up. I don't know what the deal is.
This is weird. I'm talking normal, I think.
I mean, I could hear you there. And then the boy wanted Wolf so he could say, hey, does anybody want to come over to my house and see my pet wolf? See what he did there?
You could have gone with like dragon.
Want to come home and see my pet dragon? Boom.
Yeah.
He eats everything.
You could have gone with so many. You could have gone with like the Sarlacc from Star Wars, that big pit thing that ate Boba Fett. You're the look on your face there. You're so lost right now.
I know the thing that ate Boba Fett. On another note, last night we went to Crusade Burger 2, Sovereign in Plainfield, and they changed their menu. It's no longer Crusade.
Oh, is it back to the Sovereign menu?
No, it's now like a Mexican taco burrito kind of thing.
Okay. Was it good?
I do not feel the need to go back to there for that.
Okay.
If it went back to the burgers, I would gladly go for that. But nah, just no. So today's episode is mainly pretty much like our day of grading. Like,
Yeah, it's kind of a okay.
We got to kind of do it.
Yeah. Shortly before you texted me, I did remember, I was like, oh, I got to text Mr. File because we need to still record something today. And so far, I'm thinking everything we've said will probably get edited out because it's really not that interesting.
No, that's why you don't. You just leave it go. That's like those vloggers that you follow. They follow you around all day long. They don't do anything. Like some people are just doing nothing.
Right.
This is the whole point of this show that we're doing right now because kids are feeling this way too. Like,
well, I can tell that some of them are starting to feel like 3 weeks is a long time to go.
Yeah.
Still. On the one hand, it seems super short, and on the other hand, you're like, oh my goodness, 3 more weeks. Well, we can do it.
Yes. Oh yeah.
We can do it.
We're coming in. We're coming in fast, like the shuttle coming in into the atmosphere on fire. We're gonna land this baby. We're gonna land this one. We're gonna.
Are we doing a splashdown, or are we going actual runway landing?
Runway landing.
Because when you think about the initial spacecraft, the whole splashdown thing, this whole idea of like, okay, when you come back, here's the plan. We're just going to attach a parachute.
It's going to be big.
You're going to aim for the ocean. Which one? The one with the water.
The planet's like 2/3 water. You're good.
I mean, if you like when you're spinning the globe, like to play that like "Where Will I Live" game, like in half the time you land in the ocean, it's just like that.
It totally just like that. But you're going to be coming in at around 22,000 miles an hour. So you're going to have to make your decision early on when your entry point is. But then you can't release the parachute too soon, otherwise it'll burn up. So then you'll hit the water going really fast.
I hope you're good at math.
And every time when we watched for Movie Club, when we watched Hidden Figures.
Yeah.
I get the physics of it all. I can't even I can't wrap my head around the math of it.
How you calculate that makes no sense to me. Because, I mean, truthfully, I understand they did calculate, like, okay, here's the re-entry point to land in this portion of the ocean and whatever. It wasn't just, the blind randomness. But still, I don't know how you figure that out. And, if you're off by a few seconds pressing one of those buttons, you're going to be off by quite a while then.
You're running into India.
So, but yeah, so jobs I would never want to have. Astronaut is probably it's in my top 10 for sure.
Really?
I have no desire. As much as I love Star Wars and space fantasy, I'm content to stay on planet Earth.
You wouldn't want to just take a ride out and then come back like on a SpaceX, ship with Elon and his crazy kid's name or whatever it is?
Once, maybe after, the first several thousands of flights that were successful,
right? Then
maybe I would think about it. But I've never been a big, space I've got to go, just to be out there in the nothing and doesn't do a whole lot for me. Nor does astronomy as a science in general.
Oh,
because to me, it's more of the, again, great. We know how many stars are out there and we know what they're made of and we know these different planets or whatever. And that impacts me how exactly? I'm not really worried about Mercury suddenly getting out of orbit and, crashing into us. It's got its own orbit. We've got ours. We're good. We're sharing the whole solar system. We can share. That's fine. But physics, gravity, that's super important to me. I need that to survive. Biology, super important. Geology, super important. Astronomy is the one that I have the hardest connection to because...
That's interesting because I'm pretty much the opposite because there's the show. Wow. just knocked myself cold. To refocus, if I can, I like the fact we're a tiny little ball in a tiny little solar system in a tiny little galaxy on the butt end of a thing like the Milky Way, where there's roughly 100 trillion galaxies around. I like that. That just blows my mind, along with my headphones right off my head.
Yeah, and I can agree with you. I mean, it's the size and scope is
right.
You can't really fathom that. But then I move on pretty quickly.
Okay, that's fine, and I get it. I mean, the sunshine that's going on right now is 8 minutes old. I mean, how can you not dig that?
Yeah. But see, like the sun, I get, like, okay, we need that for us.
Well, it's certainly not warming anything up today.
Not today. But like Saturn's not doing anything for me. Pluto, you told me it's a planet when I was a kid. Then you told me it's not. It's still out there, still doing nothing for me.
Wow. Whoa.
I know, it's cold, harsh space reality.
I was just going to say, that's some space reality. So you didn't watch Battlestar Galactica or anything like that?
No, I would enjoy shows. I didn't watch the newer one. I remember the old one.
I like the newer one.
Yeah, I've heard great things about it.
Yeah.
But just the space science is the thing I don't really connect well with. Like, I get that NASA was super important because a lot of the things that they developed, then those technologies can be applied elsewhere, like satellites. I get satellites are super important for technology and GPS and all that stuff. And if we didn't have a space program, we probably wouldn't have had satellites. So I agree with that. But it's when you get sort of the too far beyond Earth. Like the Mars rover doesn't excite me. Great. There's more rocks on Mars. I could have told you there was rocks there.
Wow, they're making a little helicopter to go to Mars that land and it can fly.
That's great. I hope other people enjoy it much more than I will, because I'm not going to Mars.
What if they take Animal Crossing to Mars? Well, then you care.
No. I mean, I would still play.
What if a Martian had Animal Crossing and you could play together?
That'd be cool. Okay. Yeah, like if we actually found, like, for sure, hey, we can interact with another life form. Okay, this would then become interesting to me.
Okay.
But cold, dark planets that I'm never going to set foot on, I'm okay. I'm good.
Kind of like your soul, cold and dark.
I know, it's going to seem like so uncaring. Mr. Ward doesn't care about the other planets.
Good thing we don't have an astronomy club. Oh, wait.
Yeah, good thing the professor is off already. Didn't bring this up the other day with Professor A. I can't remember Professor A's full name, unfortunately.
Aschenbrenner.
Thank you. But, speaking of which, not speaking of Professor at all, but when you knocked your headphones off, back in the days when you wore glasses, because we've talked about that before. Did you ever knock your glasses off at, like, the wrong time?
Yeah.
Like, you've ever, like, gone to like, whatever, and you're doing something, and you sort of fling?
Yes.
The worst has been when I've been driving. Have you ever had that happen?
I don't remember if I've done that. I'm sure I have, because I'm super old. I'm sure I've done that.
It's the worst and most terrifying thing. So I think there was like a little gnat or something in the car, and I went to go, like, do it away, and then these just. And without these babies, life is.
We're both blind. Yeah, yes. We were both blind without our glasses. So
yeah, I could, for a second here, I learned a trick on YouTube that you could blur things. So I'm going to pause.
Okay.
That blurriness that you guys just saw right there, hopefully, if this worked right, that's what I see like. Like, that's what my life is without glasses.
Okay, see, I didn't see anything, so.
I'll have to put it on later. I'll have to edit it.
Okay, all right. I see what you did there, because when I did it, I don't remember why I did it, but I do remember I was driving, And I did it, and I didn't flick them across the car. I just flicked them off my face. But I came to a complete stop. Like, I immediately stopped and then hoped nobody behind me. There was, I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to stop, because if I don't, I can't continue forward, because and they were just in my lap. So I just put them on quick and realized nothing was going on. Nobody was around. So it was fine. But yes.
Yeah. They didn't like flung across the car. If I may have exaggerated a tad, but like down in the lap or like on the seat next to me. I mean, so I could still reach and get them. I didn't have to like dig under the cushions or something like that. It is terrifying.
That's not the first time I've flicked the headphones off either. I've done that in radio. Like, I'll be doing something, like I had an itch in the back, and I flung them onto the microphone and turned somebody off, turned one of the for those of that, you have a slider button that goes up and down. It turns the volume up and down. And then to turn that slider on, there's an on-off button. You just poke it, which it landed on that and turned somebody off. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I had to turn it on and slide. Yeah.
That's why we try and keep things simple here at Quarantine Conversations. We don't have fancy equipment like that because we can't afford it. And we don't really need it.
Right. I could barely handle these things on my head.
I did look for some cool headphones. I couldn't find a good pair that I liked.
Well, I know Target's out, because apparently people wanted headphones and printers. So that's what happens when you start working at home.
Yeah. People need to like talk to other people and do things.
Yes.
Well, I think we have a lovely discussion on astronomy and my intense love of all astronomical objects.
Dark, soulless pits of nothing, like your heart.
So I think that's going to be our topic for today.
Works for me. That's how it goes.
Got it. Yeah. We'll edit out the first 3 hours of the show. Nobody's ever going to see those. All right, Mr. File, you have a fantastic weekend.
I will paflan on it.
And then Monday, we'll be back with a vengeance with whatever it is we do. All right, see you guys later.